applying for the regular deadline. So let's say the deadline is December 15th, but the early action deadline is November 10th. So if you want them to consider your application early so that they can give you a decision early, then you go for the early action. It is not binding. By asking them to review your application early, you're not committing to actually join that program if you get the admission. Whereas, if you go for the early decision, that means you're telling them, this is my top choice school. If I get an admit from here, I am going to reject all my other applications, admissions, and only go to this school. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
So only go for early decision if you are absolutely sure of that particular school that you want to apply to, which is probably your dream school. Okay? So different deadlines, right? Early action, early decision, regular deadlines, rolling application deadline. So you have to keep a track of deadlines, and then you submit your application early enough. Okay? There's a lot of competition. So you need to make sure you submit as early as you can. Now it sounds like I have so much to do. I need to prepare for this. I need to do my exams. I need to talk to my teachers. I need to get them on board. Like, you're already looking tired, thinking about how much there is to do, right? Let me tell you that it can all be done. People have done it before. It all depends on how you prioritize it, how you sort of make those to-do lists more focused, and how you sort of spread it out. That is why we are here, right? We have figured out a system in which we can actually sort of send you, like if you're going to work with us along with your counselor, we're going to tell you, guess what? November 15th, the deadline's approaching. It's October 10th. Are you ready with this? So we'll keep sending you updates, or we'll send your counselor updates, however we choose to work. And decide, and basically we become your, I don't know what you want to call it, your scheduling assistant or something. We keep track of everything. We help you make that deadline on time so that you get the best out of it, okay? So right from the start to the finish, we will help you through the entire process. We have a very specialized session that we have for students called the storyboarding session. We start off with this. We understand that students have stories which are personal, and sometimes, they don't want to share it with anyone else. It is only their parents and their counselors that they want to share it with. We understand that, and we want to bring out the best qualities in you to be able to help you write that application essay. So we spend close to 3 hours with you, 2.5 to 3 hours initially with your parent, understanding your story completely. What I showed you was my story in a very short graphic. But we will sit with you 2.5, 3 hours, help you understand, or rather understand you, and then decide or tell you, these are the areas we think you're good at. Maybe you should focus your essay on these topics, and then go from there. And then when you write that essay, we will help you, help you review it and go on, so on and so forth. Okay, so I covered most of this. The Life After study for US, as you all know, is something called an optional practical training period wherein you're on a student visa, but you can have a practical exposure to working. But you can only work in your field of study. Okay? In Canada, you can work in any field of study after so let's say you finish business management, you can go and find a job in something related to IT. It doesn't matter. They're not keen about what field you choose after. All they care about is that you kind of accumulate valuable experience. Okay? Immigration outlook, how does it work after that? In the US, you go for a work visa, then comes the green card, and then the citizenship. In Canada, you finish studying. As undergraduate students, you study for 4 years in Canada. You get 3 years of postgraduate work permit. In those 3 years, in the first year, if you accumulate experience, after your first year of experience, you can apply for a permanent residency. You don't need to wait to finish your postgraduate work permit. With your terminal degree from Canada and a year of experience in Canada, you are going to get your permanent residency in no time. Okay? They want students, basically. And then the citizenship takes about 3 years after you get your permanent residency. Yes?
What if you have a Canadian passport already?
Good for you. You're a citizen already. Your fee structure will be different though from international students, right? So for you, the immigration part doesn't even matter. You just go there to study. You're already a Canadian citizen, so even finding jobs and everything, you know, is not, I wouldn't say it's hard for the other ones, but for you, because you're a citizen, you are going to have certain advantages, right? Okay. So we covered this slide. Next slide. Okay, we went through this. So like I said, we start from storyboarding, we discuss your goals, shortlist universities, milestone charting, what you need to do when, essay analysis. I don't sound like this normally, okay? If I've sung with Mr. Rahman, there's some standard to it. But I've been talking constantly from Sunday onwards, so that's probably why I'm training my voice. I think it was that one school where I went to, when I told them I sang with Mr. Rahman, they said, can you sing the song that you sang with him? And I sang it. I think I probably strained my voice enough over there. Okay, so as university make their admission decisions, will help you evaluate your choices. Let's say you get into 3 schools. Now how do you choose? What do you do? Right? But we have all the notes. We know why you picked a particular university. We know why you picked the other one. So we will re-evaluate all that with you and tell you exactly what your mind frame was. And then we will discuss it with you and see which one will work best in terms of the offers you get, right? What if you get a scholarship in one but not in the other? But what if one is in a great location? So all that would come into the picture. We'll still help you there. Final university selection, admission interview. Some colleges and universities do have an admission interview process. After they screen your application, they want to talk to you. They might do it over Skype or Google Hangouts or something. We can do mock sessions with you to understand, for you to understand what they might be looking for. We have tie-ups with some admission officers or ex-admission officers who can actually conduct an interview for you, or I could do that for you. We have a bunch of people who are trained in these things. Once you've accepted your offer, we'll help you with visa requirements. Okay, so how to go about the visa application process. If yours is a complicated one, we have resources for that, so don't worry. We will provide an orientation session. So before you leave, we will have an orientation session. What should you pack? What should you not pack? I think that's a bigger list. How should you connect with universities? We have networks in different campuses with like alum, with faculty, so we can sort of put you in touch with them so that you don't feel, so, alone, right? Because you're going to a new place. It's good to have someone that you already know. Okay, so, hang on, that's part of the workshop. Okay, so with that, I'm going to tell you that the company's name is Indage Global Group. I'm the partner, director. I'm based in Canada. We have offices in US, Canada, and in India. My teammate, Rita, is here from Kolkata. She's the AVP for HR and operations. You're more than welcome to reach out to us through the email that you have on those information sheets. We will get back to you as soon as we have assessed your profile. So here's the thing, right? It's one thing to say, I'm interested. I want to apply to this. Can you help me? Let's go one step further, right? If you really are serious about this, I would suggest go to our website and there is a registration link. Go into that registration link. We need extra information from you to understand your background, right? We need to know what do you already have on your list of universities, and then go from there, okay? So once you register, and then we can give you an informed decision, and then we can start off from there. Also talk to your counselor, because we will be in touch as well. So based on how you want to work this out, we can work it out. Okay? So with that, you have the contact information. I think there's a sign-up sheet going around. If you're interested, give us your name and email, and then we can get in touch with you and send you important updates or information. We're not going to spam you with all sorts of information. Only things that are sort of relevant to you, we will send. Okay, that will be scholarship related. If universities are still accepting applications, like we had University of Guelph accepting applications until May for September 2019. So those are the kind of information we can share with you because we have insights into those universities, right? We can find out, is their international student quota over for the year? If they say yes, then we'll tell you. Maybe it's not a good idea to apply to this university because they are not interested in taking any more international students, they're filled up. So with that, I'll take any questions you have. How much time do we have for the... Oh, 20 more? Okay, all right. So with that, I'll take any questions that you have, and then we will move into the workshop, okay? The fun part. Okay, any questions so far? Yes?
I heard that in Ontario, basically it's 6 months debt for any, like, if you study over there, it's really difficult for the Indian students to survive there for the weather conditions.
Okay, I'm going to bust that myth right there. There are people living there. The Greater Toronto area is, almost at the south of Ontario, right? So the northernmost part of the US and the southernmost part of Canada pretty much have the same weather. I lived in Ohio, I lived in New Jersey, I live in Canada now. It's the exact same thing. Maybe we have an extra month or two of winter. But let me tell you this, once you experience your first winter, you're good. And there's a lot of indoor activities to do in the winter. And Toronto has an underground city for the winter time. You don't need to go out in the snow. You can take the underground and walk to your campus. All the buildings are connected. There's shopping complexes underground. So don't worry about the weather. Unless you have a health condition, that requires attention, I would say don't worry about the weather. You're gonna grow into it. For example, I was in Mississauga when the spring season started, right? Our spring is what, 15 degrees, 16 degrees? That's spring for us. Because otherwise our winter is like minus 22, minus 25, right? But once you layer up and once you're well covered, you're okay. Trust me, it's fun sometimes. You can actually go and have a lot of fun in the snow. There's a lot of snow-based activities that you can do. There's skiing, snowboarding. Try to experience something that you don't get, right, over here in the region that you're in. So you can do that. So I was going to meet my best friend in Phoenix, Arizona. Okay, from Ontario to Phoenix, Arizona. No, Ontario. Yeah, okay, whatever. It's more west in the US, right? And who knows how Arizona is? What sort of a state is that?
It's a desert.
Desert. The first thing I see is a huge cactus, right? And the temperature over there is minimum 38. Okay? So 38 was like an oven for me and my kids. They're like, they couldn't handle it. So